One. Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So it is finally here, the multiplayer update that so many of us have been worrying our socks off about. And I have to say, it is very good. You can rest assured with this update that there is some definite improvement in multiplayer performance. You can do things that you couldn't do in the past, and it's definitely going on the right track. There is no abandoning it of the game here. So with that out of the way, let's do a brief talk quickly about the trailer, then we'll talk about the features. So the trailer itself was very nice. That's what you're seeing in the background. It was a very sort of Ubisoft style where they talk about it. You can tell it's a very fake sort of atmosphere. And on top of that, one of my pet peeves with this trailer was that it was using the video editing software that they do possess at Keen Software House. So it was all very set up. I would have really liked to see raw multiplayer footage, but that's just a small thing. They've done it and it looks very nice. The trailer is beautiful to watch. Now, moving on to the actual features, the meat of this. First off, we have improved multiplayer. So that's going to allow us to just basically battle, do the things that we've been wanting to do for so long with more players, and do it at a sim speed that is effective and enjoyable. Now, moving a little bit further forward, we've got major optimizations and performance improvements. We have safe zones and global permissions, allowing server administrators to create safe zones for new players, new areas, and to stop you getting wiped out at the start, your ship stolen, and you being stuck out there with your tail between your legs. It's just going to be great for how you build your own server up with this. Now, we've got the player persistency in multiplayer. That's going to be another great feature. We have the auto reconnect feature. From my testing, I have not disconnected too much from the dedicated servers, but it's going to happen, and being able to reconnect to it is going to be great. And then we have the female engineer. Now, there was a lot of hot controversy about this, especially the way Marek kind of addressed this. A lot of people thought he was being, I don't know what the exact word for this is, but he wasn't being very politically correct about it. But they've given in. They give you the female engineer that you wanted, so you can't really argue about that anymore. It's there for you to pick from. You can be the male, you can be the female. To me, it's not a big factor in the game. It's about building this game. It's not about which character you are. Moving a little bit further forward, we've got the CPU limits. We can limit this on a global, a faction level, or per player level. Once again, allowing more control for a server administrator. Now, moving a little bit further down, we have the experimental mode. That's going to be a great way of testing out some of the features, and some items have been moved into the experimental mode so that the multiplayer can be more stable, so you'll have to check them out. There's not too much that's been moved in there, so don't really panic about that. The game and the multiplayer itself is, I won't say nothing's been sacrificed, it's just been moved slightly in there so we can have better performance in multiplayer sessions. Now let's talk about dedicated servers, and this is where I was a little bit confused about Keen's actions. Now, they're going to have servers free for the first month, and that's going to be great. Yeah, with this update, when it drops, it's going to attract more players back into the game. We know them servers are going to be there for them to play, but of course the servers, the dedicated servers, are great and all, but how many of you guys out there, I'd love to see this in the comment section, don't use dedicated servers? You play peer-to-peer with a small group of friends, because in my personal opinion, that's the majority of people who will be playing. So big things that are designed for the dedicated servers, because at the end of the day, dedicated servers are going to be costing you money that a lot of people don't have to spend on such a gaming experience. So let us know about what you think about that in the comments section below. So the first month, they're going to be free, but after that, who knows what will happen. I don't see them asking the community for money to keep these servers up. Most likely it'll go down, and it'll be down to other community content creators to actually host them. Now, I believe Captain Jack has one for his patrons. A few other content creators have them out there, so you can run them like that if you want to, or if you like myself, you can pop a dedicated server up when you really need to use it, or you want a game with a load of your subscribers. Now, moving a little bit further down the list, the default player settings. On the Keen server, they've set it to 16, and the reason for this is performance. Now, they've tested it with larger amounts up to 100, and the servers were holding, they were doing very well, but in basics they've summarized it that 16 players keeps the madness down. and it keeps it a performance and sim speed that is enjoyable for all 16 of them players on the server. So it's not too much of a worry for me. If I want to push the limits, I can always set up my own server or join one that's got unlimited amounts. That's going to be absolutely insane. Now, the final bits that I want to address is the abandoning of the game. Now, this was a subject that was covered. Even I was a little bit worried about the direction it was going because there was no sort of roadmap at all. And it is very clear from Marek's blog that there is no such thing as abandoning of Space Engineers. They have got so much planned. Now, they give us a hint of the next update that's going to be a balancing and sort of rework of some of the game scenarios. So fingers crossed it's going in the right direction. This multiplayer update was definitely a step in the right direction on a personal account by me. It has been nothing but enjoyable messing around with the new multiplayer experience. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. The full chat logs and everything that you need to know about this update are going to be in the description. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.